We all know how complicated it can get trying to root out the truth today. Everyone has an opinion. But a situation in Nevada, Iowa has folks divided into 3 distinct camps. Listen to what they're saying and see where you come down in this circular argument. By the time the spring planting season rolls around, Iowa's fertile fields have been turned into clean slates, waiting for farmers and nature to lay down the year's new designs. But for Brett Anderson, remnants of the past still linger, and try as he might, he just can't seem to plow them under. On a brisk October day in 1996, while combining his fields, Brett came upon 3 mysterious formations: a 30-foot circle with a 2-foot wide outer ring in his beans, and 2 teardrop-shaped formations in corn and grass.
People, when I first discovered the circles, said a bunch of college kids did it or high school kids did it. But once they saw it, you know, they couldn't figure out how anyone could do it that perfect.
The cause is a mystery, but there are plenty of theories. Ranging from pranksters to plasma vortices, Brett's heard them all. Today, his circles have gained attention as part of the worldwide phenomenon known as crop formations.
I've had a lot of calls from all over the United States about it. Several here just in the state of Iowa, and even other farmers here in town have told me they've had them and were afraid to say anything about it because people think they were nuts or off the rocker, you know.
Crazy or not, other Iowa farmers have also come forward. This 55-foot circle was reported in Arlington, Iowa. And these 2 were spotted near Bedford. You might say they're cropping up all over, and you'd be right. In fact, they are occurring worldwide with astounding complexity. For many, the simple explanation is that it's an elaborate hoax. But there are other schools of thought. For example, some think the formations are an attempt by aliens to communicate with us.
This is a trace. It's a physical trace of some kind. Now, what it's a trace of, we're not quite sure.
And a scientific camp claims they are the result of natural forces.
There isn't any group of scientists that I know that could have hoaxed the Nevada formations and about 95% of the others.
The bottom line is that it's all a matter of opinions, and just about everyone seems to have one. In 1996, when Brett Anderson was gathering his opinions, the only input he received was from Beverly Trout, State Director for MUFON, the Mutual UFO Network.
We recognize that in investigating the various reports that come to us that we may not get definitive answers, but we are interested in getting the data, at least having that, and continuing to investigate, try to learn more about this phenomenon, whatever it represents.
With objectivity as her guiding principle, Beverly approached Brett's circles cautiously. Leaving open the possibility of a hoax, she took plant and soil samples and searched for witnesses.
There were some reports from persons who live in the area of Nevada that they had seen unusual aerial activity in the general time frame that those crop formations were discovered. However, there is no way that we can link those reports to the crop formations themselves. There's always the question beyond the question.
In a laboratory outside Ann Arbor, Michigan, Dr. W.C. Levengood, an established plant biophysiologist with over 50 published research papers and 9 patents, has thrown his hat into the crop circle ring. After studying data from over 200 crop formations, Dr. Levengood suggests that we should look toward our own planet for answers. He theorizes that a naturally occurring event called an ion plasma vortex is the primary cause of crop formations.
It's so very, very complex, these energies. But we have some ideas as to how they're formed.
According to Levengood's theory, radiation from space and energy from the sun bombard the Earth's ionosphere. These energies can organize into something similar in shape to a smoke ring, which is then pulled through the atmosphere by gravity. As it is pulled down, this vortex is compressed by the Earth's magnetic field. Its energies intensify, it becomes more unstable, and it sprouts smaller offshoots. Finally, upon their impact with the Earth, the energy turns into a heat similar to that of a microwave oven. Dr. Levengood theorizes that this heat softens the nodes of the plants, causing them to collapse under their own weight and create the pattern formations.
From the recent work that we've done, and the two Nevada, Iowa crop formations are right in this category. There are some energies going on that if they get more extensive, the farmer's bottom line is going to be severely affected. These seem to be very pervasive, and if they get more and more pervasive, there will be people interested, believe me.
As a scientist, Dr. Levengood is careful not to validate any theory until all of the evidence is in. In addition to finding these bent plant nodes in many formations, he has come across even more peculiarities upon closer inspection.
The normal amount of magnetic iron in soil is 0.4 milligrams per gram of soil. We're seeing up to 50 to 100 times that amount in these crop formations. Has all the earmarks of meteoritic material. Like I say, if it walks like a duck and talks like a duck, must be a duck.
Levengood's only explanation is that these deposits are from meteors. In samples from a formation in England, this material even coated the plants.
These plants are wheat plants, and the unique thing here is the magnetic material struck the plants in the molten form and stuck right to it. This is very pure iron oxide, undoubtedly from a meteorite shower. I didn't know what this was when I got into the laboratory. So I began to investigate its properties. I didn't even know it was magnetic. I just thought, well, so I'll try it and see. And wow. Especially when I picked up plant parts, I thought, this is incredible. Never seen anything like it.
While Levengood theorizes that these iron deposits were brought to Earth by plasma vortices, MUFON debates that they were left by alien spacecraft. At the same time, the pranksters claim that they put them there. Recently, some of these self-proclaimed performance artists came forth on national television. Here, through time-lapse photography, a team of 3 men was shown creating a formation in under 5 hours. In fact, anyone with internet access can learn how and why to make their own crop circles. This site makes the argument that all crop circle phenomena are created by artist tricksters, whose intent is to make people aware of the persuasive powers of science and the media. All of this would tend to suggest that the Nevada circles are nothing more than a local hoax.
The Nevada samples are not a hoax. They're not vandals. No. If you put all of the anomalies together, Now, these critics, they will tear into all my statistically sound results, but they have no alternative ideas. They have no rebuttal data. They have nothing. And yet, they're given as much time and credit as my 7 years of work, the blood, sweat, and tears here in the laboratory.
Whether you're persuaded by Levengood's logic, alien arrivals, or the testimonial of tricksters, Brett's mystery remains unsolved.
I don't believe anybody made these circles. I think it's something beyond maybe human that did it. The sheriff's department inspected it and we couldn't find any traces of footprints in or out. And the soil was soft enough that it would have left a footprint because we were leaving footprints. Oh, the stem's like a dead tree limb, you know, you can just, if you go to push it over, it'd snap completely off.
Meanwhile, Brett goes about his daily chores, patiently awaiting answers. He faces the same dilemma that we all face.
You know, you can't shut your mind off into one specific area. I mean, you got to keep an open mind to it. or you're not going to learn anything from it. Because you got to take in all sides, and then it's up to each individual what they want to base their opinion on.